Hello there, people of the internet.
We're doing a formal, informal Q&A.
Yes.
Because she's gonna make noise in the background. I likely won't edit it all out. She might yell. And we're just sitting on the ground. So you guys could see some Rev today too. On Monday is going to be the name reveal. So make sure that you come back on Monday to see baby number 2's name. So basically we're starting a new thing. I don't really have a fancy name for it, but basically topic Q&As. Where from now on we're gonna ask you guys for topics, but for the first one we just picked one randomly.
Because we needed something.
Yeah, so we needed something. And so today's is going to be like parenthood, kids, and kind of like future type questions. So we asked you guys on Instagram for some questions, and so that is what we're going to answer. And we have quite a few, so we probably will not be able to answer them all, but we will try to answer as many as we can.
So the first question is, what are you most looking forward to about pursuing adoption? One of the things I really love about the adoption process, is just being able to be there for a child that's in need. Somebody that is currently on their own. Well, like they're with an adoption agency, but they don't have, they don't have a family that cares and loves them.
I think my biggest thing is just giving a child a chance to have the type of life that they wouldn't have without an adoptive family. Obviously there are great foster homes out there, but I mean, I don't know obviously from experience, but I can imagine that having to go from foster care home to foster care home, not knowing what that family's gonna be like, and not having just like a permanent home that is a place that you can always count on will be there the rest of your life, that's heartbreaking to me. And so to be able to give that to a child is just special. What are my plans for feeding the new baby? So both at the beginning and around solids. At the beginning, same thing, breastfeeding. That's what we'll be doing as long as she is on board. Now obviously Revelynne was really difficult, and I was exclusively pumping the first 2 weeks. So I really can't imagine this baby being any more difficult than she was. So I think we'll be okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. At least my guess is it hopefully won't be any worse. But that is my plan, to breastfeed just like I did with Rev. And then solid time, I think I would like to do a lot more baby-led weaning. Probably just start off right away with baby-led weaning. Because once we got into that with Rev, it was just so much easier. And so I'd like to actually do that.
More cost effective too.
That too, yes. Next question is, what is something different you will be doing with the new baby than you did with Rev? And what are you going to try to do the same that you did with Rev? So we would probably do mostly everything the same that we did with Rev. Obviously, like I said, the baby led weaning early. And the biggest thing is going to be baby wearing. I want to baby wear a lot more with baby number 2 than I did with her. Because I wish I'd been more consistent with her. But that's probably really the biggest difference. Other questions I won't go into because you guys asked stuff about that. So we'll get to that later.
Next question is, what are the pros and cons of EC, also known as elimination communication?
I have a block in your, what? Did you put it in there? Poor thing. What's your pros?
I don't have to clean poopy diapers, and it's wonderful.
Cons are it takes a lot of time. If baby needs to go on the potty, you gotta take baby to the potty, and sometimes you don't always want to. So obviously that can be a pain in the butt, and especially if like your child's going through any type of constipation issues or something, those times can be a lot more difficult than if they were in a diaper. So there is pros and cons to everything. I guess it's, my biggest thing is if you're not a stay-at-home mom, it's likely not going to be the best choice for you. Just because finding like a sitter or someone that's willing to do it is probably slim and none. And definitely daycares, most wouldn't do that. I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. It's just really the biggest con is the time that it takes to do it. Next question is, will the new baby be sharing a room with Revelynne? Eventually, we don't know right now. We're not sure. I would guess not. And someone also asked where the new baby will sleep. And we're gonna do co-sleeping in the co-sleeper just like we did with Rev the first couple months. With breastfeeding, it is just easier. When they're waking up every few hours, and they need to eat now, and I obviously don't want to worry about a newborn waking up Rev and such. So yeah, we're definitely still gonna be doing the co-sleeper. We were forced to do the co-sleeper with Rev because we only had one room, but that's not the reason that we did it. And I think we both decided it was just easier to have baby in the room with us in the beginning. So that's what we'll do with the same. Well, that's what we'll do with your little sister, right? Say, I don't want her waking me up in the middle of the night anyway. No, no.
The next question was, do we think Rev will get along with her sibling? I think so.
I think so.
I don't think it'll be an issue.
I think, well, I mean, I think there's always going to be like random times where there's a little bit of jealousy, but there's really no way to know until baby number 2 is here, right? But I think you'll be okay. So we had 2 similar questions. When do you plan on moving, and when/if you guys move, will you stay in the town/state you are in or go somewhere else?
We're not 100% decided yet, but we will probably be moving when our lease is up in May here.
We're currently thinking about probably buying a house. We have not decided 100% yet.
And so therefore we will be staying in Illinois for a few more years.
Yes. Ryan's disappointed about it. I think my biggest thing was just wanting to be next to our parents for at least a few more years. Not that I don't think like we couldn't survive without them, but we are super close to them. And I think I'd rather wait till our kids are a little bit older and they have a very well-established relationship, which some of you guys even mentioned, and so that kind of got me thinking on it too, was to just wait till they have a well-established relationship with their grandparents before we move away. But for those of you that missed that, eventually we would be planning to move to Colorado.
Next question is, what do you think about earrings?
Ryan, what do you think about earrings?
No. Our daughters will not have their ears pierced until they're like 18. When they move out of my house, they can pierce their ears.
Ryan is a very, what's the word? Conservative, but also old school. He just doesn't like piercings, tattoos, nothing.
For the record, I'm not against earrings or anything. Some people look great with earrings, but if you don't have earrings, I most likely would never notice if you have earrings on or not. But
most men wouldn't, to be honest.
I think it's really a woman to woman thing than a woman to man. Yeah, if they want to get their ears pierced, I don't have a problem with it, but that needs to be their choice when they're old enough to make that decision. Yeah,
I think when you're 7 years old, which is when, I think that's when I got mine. I think that's more of a, well, everyone's got their ears pierced, so I should get mine pierced. So it needs to be more of an age that they're making the decision for themselves, not because all their friends have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So 2 people asked questions along the same lines of, are you still planning on having 2 of your own and adopting 2? Or do you want to have another one of your own? And then also, when will you adopt?
Currently, it's still 2 and 2. When we'll adopt?
I don't think
years down the road, probably.
I think probably once
at least 5 or 6 years, I'd say.
That's what I was gonna say, 5 or 6, when our girls can really understand what's going on. Because we don't want to confuse them, we don't want to scare them, we don't want to do something, so we really want them to understand adoption and what it means and such like that. So definitely we will wait till they're a little bit older.
Yep.
And my main thing is that I will not have another biological child just to try for a boy. It's not to say we will never have another biological kid. It will be a decision that we really would like to have another biological child. And if it happens to be a boy, awesome. And if it's not, awesome.
So there were 2 questions. When adopting, are we going to adopt boys or girls? And at what age are we going to adopt?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to adopt 1 boy, and I don't know,
my OCD
be a boy or
says
girl.
Another boy, but I don't think I care that much.
And ages? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
I'm not sure if we're gonna want to adopt like infants, like newborn babies.
And the adoption process of infants, like unless you do like a birth mom, it's like usually around like 10 months to a year when you would actually be able to adopt them. Next question is, what are you looking forward to most about having 2 daughters so close in age?
Exactly that. They're close in age.
That's what you're looking forward to.
I think from what I've heard of siblings that are close in age is that they become great friends. Like me and my brother are 4 years apart, so we always had that connection, but it wasn't like we were best friends. He was older, he had his older friends, I was younger and had my friends. So I think what I look forward to most is being able to see them interact with each other and become those best friends, and then even have like the same friend groups possibly.
We can't touch the camera. Next question is, since you guys like unique names, in regards to adoption, would you change the child's name if you weren't a fan of it? If they were older,
No.
obviously not. Yeah, no. We wouldn't do
If
that. If it was like a newborn, like a baby that really wouldn't even know their name yet, then I might consider it. And I have seriously had a hard time with this, like thinking about, what if we adopt a child that has the most generic name ever? But when it comes down to it, when it comes to adopting, you cannot be picky, and it doesn't work that way. And I will be just happy to be able to give a child a better life. And so their name is the least of my concerns. Obviously, in the back of my mind, I'm just gonna be wondering a lot what their name is, because names are important to me. But it's not gonna matter to me what their name is. It will just matter to me that who the child is, their personality, and all that, and that we're able to give them a better life. So if they're super young and they have no idea what their name is, yeah, we would consider it. But if they're not, then no, we wouldn't do that to them.
No.
Next question is, will you dress Rev and baby number 2 the same? Probably not. I might consider it for like photo shoots, but like regular everyday, no, I would never do that. Just not my thing. If I had twins, yeah, I totally would. But the older, younger sibling, no. Last question, and this was the only, I think, future question, like unrelated to kids. And that is, will you design your future home and put your designs to real life? Yes.
Yeah. When we build our dream home, wherever that may end up being, it will be a home of our design. Probably primarily hers.
Mostly mine with Ryan's input. If you guys don't know, I'm super into creating houses. I'd probably create it, we'd bring it to a contractor. Obviously, their architect would still look it over to make sure that everything is up to code and such, and move anything that might be problematic. But yeah, our future dream home will be one that we designed.
What do you do when you have a bad day? When you had a bad day, you take a one down and you turn it around.
So that's it for the questions. Yesterday's, well, Monday's or Wednesday's question of the day. This stuff is messing me up, guys. But Wednesday's question of the day was, when you had a bad day, or you are in a negative attitude and you're in that rut, what do you do to get out of it? One thing that I always try to remind myself when I get frustrated with whatever it might be is...
Like me. Love you.
I love you too. is it really that important? 5 years from now, is it gonna matter? 5 minutes from now, is it gonna matter?
Usually it's not.
Most often, it's not gonna matter, even in 5 minutes or the next day. So if it's not that important, why do you let it get you so upset? And I still struggle with that. I think everybody gets frustrated at times. And a lot of times they just need to go sit and relax. Maybe read or something.
I have a hard time with this. I am totally I still struggle, because I told you guys when I said that I was the type of person that was like, whatever, it'll just be fixed tomorrow. And I definitely still think like that sometimes, and so it will take me a lot longer to turn around a bad attitude than like Ryan will. A lot of times I have my breakthroughs on my potty breaks. Because you're pregnant, you know, you go pee all the time. And I'll be like, go and pee. And I'm like, Arianna, what is your problem? Stop being a bad word. And I try and change it. And then also sometimes just like getting on the computer and doing something to get my mind off whatever is frustrating me. That works too.
Something else, quick addition, is if it's a negative situation, try and find the positive in the situation. I know it's not always easy, but you can almost always find a positive in every negative situation. Look for it, search for it, and you will find it, and you will feel so much better. I feel like I'm on an infomercial. You are a great person.
Okay.
That was kind of weird,
Today's
but
question of the day is not really a question of the day, but we want to know your guys' future topics that you would like to hear Q&As on. So if you're not already, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, which are all in the description box below, because that is where we ask for questions from you guys. And I choose a random place every time. And then maybe one of your topics will be chosen and you guys can ask your questions. So let us know, comments down below, your topics.
that's it for this video, guys. As always, we will see
Your wonderful faces on Monday with a baby name review. Bye, guys.